I'm a one-track lover, down a two-way lane, driving fast down the highway, must have been insane, 'cause the temperature's too high, traveling way too fast, and I knew our loving was too hot to last.
She's smooth, like ice, cold to the touch, and it isn't very nice when you left.
To the touch,
Alone, your lady treats you bad, leaves you hanging on the phone, take off. Shove your loving in the wheels, put the pedal to the floor, 'cause you're heading for the hills, got to get away. Can't take it no more, man, you don't need this, leave her at the door.
He's a one-track lover, down a two-way lane, driving fast down the highway, must have been insane, 'cause the temperature's too hot, traveling way too fast, and he knew their loving was much too hot to last.
well, I'm a man who makes love.
Now he's knocking at the front,
On a hot summer night,
now he's knocking at the back,
in a town called love.
now he's knocking at both doors.
Well,
Alright,
she got her hands on my body work. She slammed me into fifth gear. Now she's sucking on my tailpipe. Too late, this cat's out of here. 'Cause I'm a one-track lover. Yes, I'm a one-track tailpipe. 'Cause I'm a one-track body work. Yes, I'm a one-track front door. 'Cause I'm a one-track lover. Yes, I'm a one-track lover. Tailpipe.
All right, Chad, how we doing tonight? How we all doing? There's British James's intro music. So he had FEX, Subway of Your Mind. Some music from Spec Ops, The Line, Radio Man song. And Todd Rivers' One Track Lover, which I didn't realize until we were watching the video. It's just from Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Like, immediately, I get vibes when I'm watching a video before I even recognized any of the actors in it. I'm like, this shit is just good. This shit reminds me of Garth Marenghi. But a lot of cheesy, like, 70s and 80s shit does, because that's the point of Dark Place. I remember that being on Adult Swim. I don't know. British James probably knows that show more because it's, I guess, originally British. But I remember that being on Adult Swim here in the States. I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? Because most of the live action stuff on Adult Swim sucked absolute donkey dick. So I didn't give it a chance for a while, and then I finally watched it because back in the 2000s, you know, it was, if Comedy Central let you down late at night, you had to go to Adult Swim. When I finally gave it a chance, it was good. Most of the live action stuff on Adult Swim sucked. Tim and Eric's bullshit was always atrocious. Always hot fucking garbage. I knew some buddies that were super into it, and I tried. I really tried with that shit. Fucking sucks. Every bit of it I ever saw sucks. And you know what? I'm sorry to tell you this to you Zoomers. Even the Sam Hyde stuff on Adult Swim wasn't that great. It was good. You know, it was certainly leagues above Tim and Eric. I even put it a notch or two above Garth Marenghi. Garth Marenghi's one of them things where it's like, it's very hit or miss. A lot of it fell flat with me, but once in a while, a lot like Sam Hyde, some of it would really get me. I don't know. I think the Zoomer infatuation with Sam Hyde is it's just the only fucking comedian with even one fucking ball that Zoomers saw in their whole fucking life. It's like, oh my God, he's so based. And it's like, yeah, I guess if you don't remember the Chappelle Show or literally nearly any stand-up comic from the 80s or 90s, I guess then he's super based and super edgy and super insightful. The only genuinely hilarious thing to me that Sam Hyde ever did was his TED Talk when he's in like the Roman armor. And he goes on about like state-enforced homosexuality. And he just trolls the shit out of those pretentious lefties at the TED Talk. That's gold. But that is leagues above anything else he's ever done. I agree and appreciated his Dear Elon rant back in, I think, January or late December. I did like that, but that wasn't really comedic. That was, you know, that was just a political essay, apparently. There were a few laugh lines in it, but that's about it. But no, I never found Sam Hyde that fucking funny. I don't know. I know all the Zoomers right now are tuning out. Like, how dare you? British James says, Channel 4 in the UK during the golden era of British comedy on that channel. Yeah, I couldn't tell you, man. See, I'm over here in a country that has its flag on the moon. So I don't know nothing about Channel 4 in the UK. All right. When I was growing up, Channel 4 was the NBC affiliate in Washington. With Jim Vance as the anchorman on the news. I'd tell you that much. Maybe one person in the chat that grew up in Southern Maryland would recognize that. Wolfland says some of Sam's stuff is funny, but it really is hit or miss. Again, I don't think he's terrible. I just don't, like, most of it's just eh. You know? Like, he's not Tim and Eric. Those guys suck. Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job, is one of the worst things I've ever seen on fucking television. I'm sure Comedy Central, like modern Comedy Central, has managed to do worse. I don't even know what Adult Swim's doing these days other than fucking Rick and Morty. Which I don't even know if they're still doing. Is it still going on? They're so long in between seasons, it's hard to tell if something's even coming back half the time. Wolfland says, Tim and Eric is like anti-comedy. That's exactly what they're trying to do. But the problem is anti-comedy doesn't usually fucking work. See, the premise of anti-comedy is that we're going to make something that's so aggressively unfunny that it wraps around to being funny. And when you nail that, it can often be amazing. The problem is if you're even slightly off on sticking that landing, you're just stuck in the painfully unfunny territory. Wolfland says Adult Swim has many banger shows currently. I mean, they have over the years. You know, Aqua Teen was fucking brilliant. Robot Chicken was great. A lot of Robot Chicken stuff now doesn't seem that great because there's so much internet comedy is based on, hey, we're digging up this core memory of this obscure thing you watched when you were 5 that everyone forgot about. And a lot of Robot Chicken was that. But Robot Chicken also had funny ass fucking gags with shit. Like, there's an old gag on Robot. The superhero humor on Robot Chicken always made me laugh. There's a gag where, like, there's a little kid in an Iron Man costume who's, like, pretending to be Iron Man, and he runs up to the actual Avengers, and he goes up to Hulk, and he's like, I'm Iron Man. And Hulk's like, works for Hulk. And they're, like, fighting some big crab robot or something, and he just grabs this kid and chucks him right at that robot, and he gets sucked into, like, the jet turbines of the robot and dies, but it ends up destroying the robot. So they make a statue of him and shit. They're like, he died a hero. Smiling Friends. I forgot about Smiling Friends. That's right. That's their new big show. I had forgotten all about that, but Smiling Friends kicks fucking ass. You're right on that. So, I saw a number today, chat, that fucking floored me. So I know I've brought this up numerous times, but go see Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up. It's a fucking fantastic movie. Absolutely amazing. It is bombing terribly because it got no fucking marketing. Most people don't know that movie fucking exists. Surely, though, the based YouTubers who always complain about wanting good movies and not woke trash, surely they're out there spreading the word, though, right? No, they're just complaining about Snow White. Cool, thanks, guys. Anyways, the budget of and again, The Day the Earth Blew Up, I don't know exactly how it was made. It looks like hand-drawn 2D animation. Overlaid on hand-painted fucking backgrounds. Like classic, good old-fashioned fucking Looney Tunes. It costs $15 million to make. Now, $15 million is a lot of money for me, or for you, I imagine. I mean, if you happen to have an extra $15 million laying around, streamlabs.com/thebeckloff. But in general, for a person, yes, that's obviously a sizable chunk of money. But to make a movie in Hollywood in the year of our Lord 2025 is absolute fucking chump change. Wolfland says it's digital, no idea if it's drawn on tablets. Again, I don't know how it was made. I'm telling you what it looks like. $15 million. Now, let's put this in a little bit of perspective. So, since it's the thing everyone insists on talking about right now, even though it's not worth talking about, the new Snow White cost $240 million to make. Live action animation is kind of apples and oranges, but just throwing that out there since we're all talking about it. But on the topic of animation, they recently made a Dogman movie. I don't know anything about Dogman, nor do I fucking wish to, but I can tell you that movie, which was all 3D animated, looked like shit. Because again, don't know anything about Dogman, don't fucking want to. If I had a kid and he was watching Dogman, I'd probably be like, what is this faggot shit? What are we watching, Junior? Like, what is this? But go watch it upstairs. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Which, again, is why I don't want kids. I'd be a terrible father, you know? I'd come into the room as he's watching his beloved cartoon, and I'd be like, what is this faggot shit? And he's like 6. Anyways, Dogman, $40 million to make. They made it 3D, even though, again, don't know anything about Dogman, but I can tell you, at a glance, the character designs in Dogman very obviously are not meant to be 3D. With $40 million to make something that looks ugly as goddamn sin. Moana 2. I didn't see Moana. to me, it personally looked like modern Disney slop. I've heard some good things from people that are into animation. Maybe I'm missing out. Just didn't have any fucking interest. You know? Maybe one day I'll be bored, fire up Disney Plus, and I'll be proven wrong. I avoided Lilo and Stitch for years, probably fucking decades, because it just, nothing about it looked special to me. I was like, it was after the Disney Renaissance. It kind of runs its course. I was like, Disney doesn't have that magic anymore. Finally did watch Lilo and Stitch, really only a few years ago. I was like, this movie fucking kicks ass. So maybe I'm wrong on Moana 2. Or Moana. But Moana 2, whatever. Electric Boogaloo. Doesn't even look that great in my opinion. Animation-wise. $150 million. Mufasa, The Lion King. Which is an animated movie, even though it's designed to look fucking live action. I don't believe there's a single bit of live action in it. I don't even think the fucking backgrounds are live action in it. It's a CG animated movie. It's arguably impressive in how realistic and ugly they can make the lions look. But it's not something that's fun to look at. Everything about it looked like shit. I don't know if you saw when they were passing around Twitter the "What Did You Say About My Brother" song. It's all. Have bad. You heard of Jesus? Vander donated $5. Thank you very much for that. No note, but thank you very much for that. Big help, especially right now. Mufasa the Lion King. Disney spent a whopping $200 million to have Sonic 3 beat the fucking brakes off it at the box office. Sonic 3, by the way, only cost $122 million. Chris Pratt's Garfield movie, which again looked like shit. I'm not even talking about the writing. I'm talking about the animation. I mean, it looked like shit. $60 million. Not as much as I would have thought, whatever. Again, some not exactly very recent, but some other animated movies. Mutant Mayhem. Just kind of looked fucking ugly, but it had things going for it. $70 million. Mario movie, which was gorgeously animated in my opinion, $100 million. Again, though, I name all these to contrast the fact that Warner Brothers recaptured the absolute fucking magic of Golden Age Looney Tunes for a mere $15 million fucking dollars. The budgets of other movies make me think there's some sort of, that it's just money laundering or something. Why does Hollywood be like the DNC and most of the money is just wasted? Just fucking pocket it. $15 million to make one of the most gorgeous, impressive animated movies I've seen in a long time. I did not think modern Hollywood capable of doing what they did with that. Again, aside from the inclusions of cell phones in this movie, I could have believed this was a lost fucking Looney Tunes feature from 1956 or something. Forney says he sent my good friend Andrew Banner a video on Twitter. Play it. We'll go. Yeah, let me see. We'll see what we can do about that. Problem is, Twitter is on my phone, not exactly on my fucking laptop. But let's see what we can do here. Oh, it's some cringe shit. I'm going to go ahead and post this in Discord so that I can bring it up when we want to. Okay. So anyways, we might get to that a little bit. $15 million to make a movie that was just amazing. I don't know what they spent on marketing, but it was probably less than I got in Super Chats fucking today so far. Which, by the way, for those keeping track, a mere $5. Let's keep them Super Chats coming, though. But I have to imagine you could have taken another 15 million, and just done a modest ad campaign. Ads on TV, you know, specifically in front of animated shows. Ads on streaming. You know, most streaming services have the lower tiers that run ads. Ads in front of YouTube videos. Because every 30-second YouTube video has to have 4 fucking hours worth of ads now. And something as simple as just put a 1-page ad in the last 2 or 3 months of DC Comics. Warner Brothers owns DC Comics. That's got to be practically free. It can't cost a great deal to advertise one of your products inside another one of your products. Point is, another 15 million. Have at least some fucking marketing campaign. And this movie probably would have made 100 million by the time it was done in the theater. I was absolutely floored when I saw it. $15 million. I would have guessed 30, 40, 50, at least. $15 million to absolutely put to shame virtually 90% of the animated movies that have come out in the last 10 fucking years. Modern Hollywood really does just have to be a fucking money laundering scheme at this point. I know movies are pricey. I know it's expensive to make even a shitty indie movie. I get that. But holy shit. You want to put that in perspective. And this was 1999 money, or probably 1998, because, you know, it takes a while for a movie to be made. American Pie cost $11 million, I believe, to make. I don't have the money. I've seen that before. And that's nothing but teenagers telling dick jokes for 90 minutes. Now, adjusted for inflation, you're probably going to say that's between 20 and 25 million. So teenagers making dick jokes for 90 minutes cost $10 million more than to literally recapture the golden age of Warner Brothers animation. Carly the dog says unions certainly became worse. I imagine that's part of it. And also, like, again, I hate to sound like I'm a fucking critical drinker over here, whining about the good old days, but, like, even CG. Like, my God. I've just recently rewatched Terminator 2. Some of the CG on the Liquid Metal Terminator has shown its age. Most of it still fucking holds up. And this was from like 1992 or something like that, 1991. This was like over 30-year-old fucking CGI. Looks better than most of what's in a fucking blockbuster movie now. To say nothing of the CGI in movies like Lord of the Rings or fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. I got dragged to that first Pirates of the Caribbean movie with my dad and a buddy of mine that were both excited to see it. I thought it was going to be shit. Because first of all, most pirate movies in my lifetime had been dog shit. And it was literally a movie based on a Disney ride. Not a property, just a fucking theme park ride. I'm like, there's no way this is good. And it turned out to be great. And the effects in it were fucking great. Wolfland says they went with Liquid Metal because of the limitations at the time, but they understood to make the... It's funny, man. I remember when I was a kid, even as a kid, like I'm listening to like what they're describing the Liquid Metal Terminator as, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And even as like a teenager and stuff, I'd rewatch it. I'm like, what do you mean Liquid Metal? What does that fucking mean? And they kind of get more into it in the director's cut, but they basically explain that it's actually it's a bunch of nanites in this liquid form, which is considerably more plausible than just saying he's just liquid. What do you mean the robot's liquid? He's just liquid. How is he liquid? What is that? He just is. It's fuck you. What honestly made him so intimidating in that movie isn't even that, his fucking superpower compared to Arnold. It was honestly how much more sophisticated he was at, like, blending in. And I don't mean the shape-shifting. I mean, like, he could talk to people and he'd have, like, banter and humor. But then it would immediately switch off. People don't give that actor enough credit either. What was it? What was the Liquid Metal Terminator actor? I can't think of his name. Wolfland says, yeah, it's a bot swarm. Exactly. That makes perfect sense, by the way. Again, you could argue how feasible it is, but that's enough of an explanation that you could just go along with it. Like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not going to try and Neil deGrasse Tyson pick it apart. I'm watching a movie. Like, Robert Patrick, thank you. Yeah, I'm watching a movie. I don't want to pick it apart. I inevitably can't help but do that a little bit. So that's why you got to meet me halfway, movie. You got to give me a good enough explanation that I can just go, okay, cool, and go with it. That's all you got to do when you're writing fantasy and sci-fi and all. Just establish some rules. Just establish whatever you got to do. Just meet me halfway. People always talk about suspension of disbelief, but that's a two-way street. You got to give me some explanation for my imagination to work with. And once you establish rules, you got to kind of just not break them. That's the other thing. Give me some rules and then just, like, stick with them. Don't ignore your own fucking rules, because then I'm going to be like, if you don't care, why should I, movie? Anyways, Robert Patrick, that's the other thing people like. For that guy to do, like, running scenes where he really makes it look like he's not exerting himself at all. I mean, obviously he's an actor and he's in good shape and all, but, like, there really are moments where he switches off and he is just inhumanly robotic. More so than Arnold ever did in those roles. Like, Arnold just comes across robotic because I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Let's deal with the real for a minute. Arnold's not a tremendous fucking thespian, all right? He's not a particularly great actor. Now, that works a little bit when he's a goofy, inhuman fucking robot. But yeah, Robert Patrick's Liquid Metal Terminator, it's a hell of a role. People sometimes underestimate the amount of acting that goes into some of these goofy genre type things. I always thought the guy that played the Reverse Flash in the CW Flash was doing a tremendous acting job. He played multiple versions of that character from different universes. Technically, that character was wearing the face of another person he had killed, and he played that guy in flashbacks. So he's playing these slight variations, essentially, of the same character and making each one distinct but similar. That takes a lot more than people give credit to. You could say it's a goofy, stupid CW superhero show, and it was. But still, man, you gotta admire that kind of shit. But yeah, I actually like the explanation for the Liquid Metal Terminator, him being like basically a cluster of nanites. I also like when he's glitching out, again, in the director's cut. It's been so long since I've seen the original, but I don't remember a lot of that extra shit in the original. Like in the director's cut, after he gets frozen and he thaws out, he's like glitching out. Like there's a part where he like grabs a handle, like as he's walking up the steps or something, and his fucking arm starts to look like the handle, and it's like stuck to it. And great fucking movie. Those first two Terminator movies are great. It's a shame they never made any more. By the way, I actually went through the lore of all the Terminator sequels recently. I caught a video that was covering this shit. I haven't seen a lot of them. I think I saw the one with Christian Bale. I saw 3, like, when it came out on video, and it was rough. There shouldn't have been sequels after Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is... I've never... Look, I'm not anti-sequel. A lot of people are like, yeah, your movie shouldn't have sequels. It should be original ideas all the time. And it's like, no, man. I'm cool with movie sequels. Most of the time, if you're remotely creative about it, there's plenty more story to be told. Terminator 2, though. I've never seen a door shut harder on future sequels. The antagonists of the Terminator series are literally wiped from the space-time continuum so that they will never be. I've never seen a more definitive slamming the door in sequels, only for years later, we want more money, time for more sequels. But the later sequels, I know everyone focuses on them getting woke and dumb shit like that, and they do. But more than that, there's something I almost admire about the later sequels in how little they give a fuck. Like, the Terminator series promptly becomes the story of Skynet and human beings butt fucking the space-time continuum into the absolute dirt. Like, one of these movies starts with, like, John Connor as a kid, and they CGI the 1992 actor in there, and she's blown away by Arnold, who then just, I guess his programming didn't tell him what to do after that, so he becomes a fucking curtain salesman. It's goddamn insane. One of these sequels starts off with, like, Kyle Reese arriving in 1984, and he goes, what year is it? And there's a cop there that says, it's 1984 when you arrive, Kyle, and it's a liquid metal Terminator. And then Sarah Connor and a Arnold Terminator show up in a van and say, get in! And it's just, it goes insane. That movie series goes fucking insane. And there's a part of me that kind of likes that. Because, whatever. Fuck it. We are just going to beat the fucking brakes off the space-time continuum right now. One of the Terminators, never mind a liquid metal swarm of nanites, one of them is like a gaseous swarm of nanites held together with a magnetic field. And it becomes John Connor somehow. It just eats John Connor and just Borgifies his fucking consciousness into it. Terminator sequels go butt fucking insane. The only one I kind of like, other than 1 and 2, is the one with Christian Bale. That one's pretty solid. It's flawed. It's definitely not Terminator 1 and 2, but it's okay. But, yeah, Terminator goes insane. Just, at this point, I have to believe that Terminator time travel just makes branching timelines. It doesn't rewrite the past. Because otherwise, I feel like their universe would have collapsed under the weight of constant resets. I feel like they just would have ripped the fabric of reality apart. Which I guess is kind of Skynet winning. In a way. I don't know what Skynet ever intended to do with itself after it killed all the humans. I don't think it thought that far ahead. I think it would literally just be... All the Terminators would just be staring at the fucking sunset one day with their hands kind of crossed behind their back, weeping a little bit, just being like, what do we do now? I don't know. I thought you knew. Like, I don't know. I didn't really think this far ahead. Why were we even doing this? There's a Terminator comic. I think it's even in the Terminator RoboCop crossover. I could be wrong, but I want to say I'm picturing that scene from it, where Skynet completely wins in one timeline and utterly wipes out the last human, which is a kid for some reason that they finally hunt down and shoot, because I guess I think it was Frank Miller. He just wanted to be edgy. But then they're just like, what do we do now? And they're on a spaceship, but they're all like, the spaceship sort of looks like a boat on the water, because it's got like a deck. So they're all just standing out in the void on the deck of this spaceship as they're fucking ghost pirates or something, and they're just like heading off to find new alien life to kill. Just let's go find more organic life and fuck it too. Like, just fuck it right in there. Just hell with it. Fuck them. But I'm picturing it in my head. It's so goofy. They're just standing on the outside of this fucking spaceship as it cruises off to just find new things to kill. Oh, man. Wolflame says, we got teased a proper war with the machines. It could even have taken place before the first time travel event. Then it never happened. See, I don't like the idea of time travel that changes the past, just because it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't think it works. I'm willing to go with it when I'm watching a movie or something, just to, again, suspension of disbelief. But just, really, I don't know that time travel is possible at all. It probably fucking isn't. But if it is, I feel like the only two possibilities are either you make a new timeline, just a branching timeline, like a parallel universe. The old timeline still exists, or it's a time loop, like what Terminator 1 had going on. Now, the time loop thing, it's still kind of a paradox, but it's more of a stable paradox. And it's kind of horrifying in and of itself because it's so deterministic. So I generally prefer the branching timelines thing. That's why, in my mind, that's just what Terminator is. Because, again, otherwise I feel like you just would have ripped the fabric of reality apart. You've changed the timeline so much. And then you got just remnants of deleted timelines just walking around. Terminator 1 has the bootstrap paradox. Yeah, exactly. It's the time loop paradox. You know. Which is still a paradox, but it's more stable than changing the past paradox. Yeah. The biggest problem I have with it is just philosophically. It's just horrifyingly deterministic. Alright. Well, Forney sent us a video. Let's check out what Forney sent us, shall we? Alrighty. I know, dead air. Okay, so this is from a Twitter account. Internet Cringe. It's consumer L's, and it's just, the video's just titled Cringe Shit. Let's go ahead and get our Windows capture going on here. The woman has a t-shirt that says, ask me about my butthole. So that's very charming right from the get-go.
On this week's journey to find the biggest and best sandwiches, and this week, pizza. I went to Crave It in Queens, New York to try their absolutely insane food creations. First, I had to try their Bubba Senior Brisket Sandwich, which was made with slow-cooked brisket.
Is there a filter on her mouth, or is her mouth just like that? Chad, is that a filter? Or is she really a monster?
Which was made with slow-cooked brisket, caramelized onions, smoked mozzarella, mozzarella sticks, and beef.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I guess she is a monster. Just unhinge your jaw like a fucking snake. Swallow the damn thing whole. I'm sorry, I gotta hear what the fuck is even in this sandwich. I was a bit distracted by... It looks like a Dick Tracy villain.
Was made with slow-cooked brisket, caramelized onions, smoked mozzarella, mozzarella sticks, and beet horseradish mayo.
Okay, that sounds kind of good, actually. I mean, it sounds like I couldn't eat a whole fucking one, as well as a pizza. But
insane. Then I had to try their legendary pizzas, starting with their Super Bowl special pizza.
That has to... Is that a... Chad, I don't understand. Is that really her fucking mouth? Like, this is... That's not her fucking mouth. Forney assures me that's her fucking mouth. No. Do I want more videos? I don't know.
Pizza was lined with pigs in a blanket and topped with chili, nacho cheese, hot dogs, and Fritos.
Okay, that sounds fucking disgusting. I'm willing to give that sandwich a shot. That one sounds... That's its own little kid food, too. Like pigs in a blanket. Why don't you just put, like, poor SpaghettiOs with hot dogs on there?
Yeah. And to top it all off, we had to do their Love Potion pizza surrounded in baked garlic knots, where the burrata balls are literally injected with a Love Potion, aka honey sriracha sauce.
Okay, the honey sriracha sauce inside a mozzarella ball does sound kind of good.
Actual wet dream. On this week's journey to find the biggest and best sandwiches, and this week, pizza, I went to Crave It in Queens, New York to try their absolutely insane food creations. First, I had to try their Bubba Senior brisket sandwich, which was made...
She looks like a monster. Like, I'm pretty sure she could go up to somebody that's on shrooms and just smile at him and give him a goddamn heart attack. Forney says that my good friend Andrew Banner has another Twitter DM he should check. Oh my gosh. What is... No. See, this is Instagram, though. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring it up. I don't really have Instagram. Jesus Christ. I thought that was a dildo at first. It's a fucking wine bottle. She's just like unhinged her jaw like a snake and she's about ready to swallow a whole goddamn wine bottle. Is it okay? Is this bitch on fucking YouTube? Maybe we can bring her up on YouTube. Sam Ramsdell 5, okay. She does have a fucking YouTube. She apparently has a podcast. I guess when you have a mouth that big, you have a lot to fucking say. Let's check out her shorts. Oh, my gosh. Oh! God. 40, what have you done? God. All right. Oh, my gosh. All right, so here's one of her shorts on YouTube. It's called "We Came, We Saw, We Queefed."
Oh, James! Woo! We're back. The Olympics are inspiring us, and we're ready to take things up a notch. You can dance like this to make a man wanna speak Spanish. Halika, gasa, sosasa. Wait, James. It'll be better to grab on his leg.
That man looks dead. Oh my God, he looks dead inside.
You can dance like this to make a man wanna speak Spanish.
Ah!
I think that was a queef.
Oh God! What the fuck?
I mean, I'd like to think. Maybe I could be wrong.
Red Schloff, you're just jealous. I'm not jealous of that man. I can assure you. All right, let's. Oh man, this is quality content. I should really be getting more super chats. All right, chat. Largest mouth gape, Guinness World Records.
I mean, I like to think, maybe I could be wrong, but like I look semi-normal, like, you know, as I'm walking down the street. It's not until I go, like,
Jesus.
some of my friends were like, what? I had no idea it was that big. I've definitely always known I've had a big mouth. Let's go. Obviously, since basically I could look in the mirror, I've known that my mouth was extremely large. And of course I was made fun of too. I always talk a lot about how I was bullied growing up, called big mouth bass girl, because I look like a big mouth bass. Now, you know, 31 years later, being 31 and being able to do something that really was something I was so insecure about and something that I wanted to keep so small, and now it's like one of the biggest, best things about me. Fun fact, I can also eat 2 cheeseburgers at once. Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
So I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to get on TikTok.
You might give yourself a fucking hiatus hernia, swallowing just bricks of food at a time.
Old to do this, and I'm like, well, because it's like the one thing that I have right now that I can do to keep me busy and keep me creative. But I was doing some singing, some of my comedy stuff, and I did one comedy video where I, like, you know, did this crazy face.
I mean, honestly, like, I can't hate her. You know, like, turn a curse into a blessing. Good for you, sweetie. It's disturbing to see, but I mean, we all love the freak show. That's right, Wolfland. She could smoke 500 cigarettes at once. That pizza looked gross, though. There's pigs in a blanket on it. Ugh. The sandwich looked kind of banging. Like, it might be gross. It might be overwhelmed, but, like, I'd like to try it. I wouldn't mind trying it. I ain't getting a whole one on top of a pizza. I'm not that much of a fat fuck. But like half of one. Forney says, should I send you the video where she went on Italy's Got Talent where she shoved an entire hoagie down her throat while singing? I'd rather you didn't. If I'm being perfectly honest with you. I think we've seen enough. That was special. That was very special. I think we all learned something today. I don't know what that something is, but we definitely learned it. Wolflame says, look up Brazilian pizza. I've seen one with entire roasted chicken on one. I mean, I get down with some odd toppings on pizza, you know what I mean? If somebody's like, yeah, I put some chicken and some basil and, 18 different kinds of cheese and some balsamic reduction drizzle on them. Like, fuck yes, sign me up. But not like... See, there's pizza like that with just like artisan gourmet toppings and shit on it. And then there's like getting into like weird like 80s cartoon Ninja Turtle fucking levels where it's like, I put strawberry ice cream on the pizza. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? The others, Wolfland says the other side was chocolate and candy. Same pizza, by the way. Again, like I said, that's getting into like 80s Ninja Turtle cartoon shit. Which, like, what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself at that point? I mean, I love the Ninja Turtles too, but I'm not letting them pick pizza toppings, all right? Like, no, calm down, guys. We're just... As I'm sure April said numerous times, calm down, guys. We're just getting pepperoni, okay? Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up for today. I think we had some fun today. I think we learned a lot. Learned a lot about time travel. About how bonkers Terminator got. Seriously, I don't recommend watching the sequels. But, like, watch, like, lore videos where they just... Because the sequels are bad, don't get me wrong. Where they just give you a rundown of the plots of these later movies. And it's amazing. It's... Humanity and Skynet are going to rip that universe apart. That'll be the last Terminator movie they make. Is it just... That's a Terminator movie I want to make. Skynet and the Terminators... time travel like 400 fucking times in a single movie. Like, you see scenes redone constantly from old movies with more Terminators and more Resistance fighters showing up, right? Until like a single scene in Terminator, like just Kyle Reese arriving in 1984, and we redo this scene over and over. This is the last great Terminator movie, chat. I just thought of this. This is how you do it. And the franchise definitively. So Kyle Reese arrives in 1984, and the Liquid Metal Terminator is there. And then Sarah Connor shows up with an Arnold Terminator and says, get in. And they get in. And then we cut back to Kyle Reese arriving again. And as the Liquid Metal Terminator is walking up to him, another Liquid Metal Terminator merges with him to make a new Liquid Metal Terminator. And then the girl Terminator from Terminator 3, who could, like, assimilate machines like the Borg, she's there too. We don't even know what she's up to. And a second Kyle Reese is there. And you just redo this scene over and over again with just more shit showing up. Constantly. Until the last one, there's just so much shit going on. And the fucking sky rips open. Like it's just turning white. And it's just eating everything away. Like Crisis on Infinite Earth shit. And just everything fades to white. Just eaten away. As reality unravels. And the last scene is God weeping. That is how you end the Terminator franchise. I just thought it out off the top of my head. Go ahead, take it. whoever owns Terminator at this point. I don't know what company owns them. Who knows? Is it Fox? I think it's, which would be Disney now. Sarah Connor's a Disney princess now? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But whatever. That's how you undo it. That's how you end Terminator. I think that'd be great. It's just fucked into oblivion. Well, that's all I got for tonight, folks. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you enjoy the content I put out, and I don't know why you would because it sucks, but if you do, streamlabs.com/TheBeckloff. Send a donation when I'm not live, and I'll see it when I am live, and certainly greatly appreciate it right now of all times. PayPal.me/TheBeckloff, and I'll leave a link to the Amazon wishlist down below if you would like to buy me some of the dumb shit that I like. That would also be cool. That's about it for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. Beckloff out.